Hey everyone, welcome to the 76th annual Valorant Tournament event. We've done this for 76 years so far. How do you feel about it?
It feels pretty good, seeing as we're going back in time to bring Valorant to the masses.
I'm your MC today, Mike, and join with me.
I'm Jordan. You may recognize me from AORUS Plays, which is normally in this time slot, but instead we managed to get together several teams from our very own AORUS gaming community, and we've pitted them against each other in Valorant today for your enjoyment.
Mortal Kombat.
No, wrong game.
Sorry. Okay. Well, we actually have two in the waiting teams right now. We have Team WEG, joined by a bunch of members, as well as Team Yay. Team Yay actually beat the first round and made it to the semifinals. So I definitely saw them in action. Very formidable. Well, we'll see how they deal with Team WEG. So let's take a look. But before we actually do so, quick mention. We should have a Gleam message going out right now that'll show you to a giveaway page. We'll also be choosing some random users at the very end for some random swag for you audience members who'll be watching at home. And also a big shout out to AMD. Thank you so much for powering this entire tournament.
Absolutely. So make sure to stay tuned through the entire broadcast, because there's going to be four secret codes for today, which means that if you enter in each and every code on the Gleam, you're going to maximize your chances to win one of the several swag packs that we're going to be sending out today, and you're going to be increasing your chances to win an Amd PC, a full system, which is going to be announced at the end of the tournament for one lucky viewer of both the semifinals as well as the finals.
Yes, so I think that's everything.
I believe it is.
Let's get started with the games.
All right.
Here we go. Let's go ahead and see what our audience sees here.
There we go. So we're loading into Haven right now, which for those of you guys who are familiar with Valorant, I believe Haven was one of the maps that's been here the entire time since release, and we're going to see exactly what our two teams are going to be putting. Let's see. So let me double check. I'm trying to look and see, because I think the team names actually might be swapped around just because it switched up the attacker and defender on us at the last minute. But we're looking to see what operators are being picked right now. Yep. Oh, it is correct? Okay, cool. Glad that worked out. So Sharkbait almost immediately locked in Ruin, right, James?
Yep. So hey guys, this is James here. I'm going to be swapping in Mike, and Jordan and I will be casting today's matches. So yeah, we have Team Yaya, Team WEG, people already locking in their favorites. We see, it looks like, not a player, as well as Rachel. Looks like they just locked in Reina, and not a player is waiting. I'm guessing they're discussing some sort of team comp here. But Jordan, what do you think of their team comp? You know, speaking of
select your
agent.
I think
with the team comp, with Team Yeye starting out in defense, picks such as Killjoy as well as Venom, right? Those two picks are going to be really good on defense. Between that as well as the Sky, which means that they're going to have a lot of smoke. Not a player just locked in Omen, which means that their team is going to have a ton of smoke to be able to lock down fire lanes. For example, B-site, that long center lane, is an absolute favorite when it comes to anybody looking to pick up a sniper rifle, be it a Guardian or even an operator later on in the game. So it looks like, I have a feeling they're going to be trying to lock down those lanes. Meanwhile, it seems that Team WEG is going to be looking to for a little bit harder of a push, especially since Soya is really good at pushing, since he can.
Okay, looks like they're all starting with the group huddle.
Oh, okay.
I think they're doing their game plan around here. All right, let's take a look at WEG here. We got a lot of people here in the match, and everybody watching at home. We want to thank you guys again for tuning in to the very first AORUS Valorant Community Tournament. So here we can see a bird's eye view. We have looks like Yikes here on C, and we have two on A. And two playing mid here. So we'll kind of see where this goes. Jordan, what do you think their first play is going to be?
Looks like Team WEG is going to be going on to point C. They're going to be pushing that really hard. I have a feeling Mando is going to be attempting to hold down that center lane. just to make sure that they don't get flanked in their push, since that could always be pretty disastrous. Looks like we have their Reyna getting the first kill, which is always a really good sign for Team Yeye, as they begin to push up into C, currently trying to take it over, while I think Team Weg is being a little bit cautious with their rotations. Although Yeye rotating onto the B site. It's down to 2 versus 4 right now, which means that they have quite the advantage, seeing as they actually have 2 sites that they have completely overtaken. However, it looks like we have
spike planted.
Looks like we have Sharkbait as well as Silver getting up.
Oh, the running gun is real. Frenzy, classic. We have both people, or all 3 people on site here.
Turret out.
I was never able to
Player standing.
so attackers are gonna.
Nice try. It is really hard with that Reyna because she can overheal and pretty much buy 0 shields at the beginning. As long as she gets an assist, she can heal up to that full HP, 150 HP. So
especially during the pistol round, which makes a huge difference.
yeah, so she can actually just go straight up on a Sheriff if she wanted to, and just go off of that heal if she gets an assist. So, but anyways, regardless, very close first round. A lot of great movement from a lot of people. Team Yeye really needs to up their defense if they do want to, win this next round here. And it looks like Team Weg is forcing with the Spectres.
Absolutely. On the other hand, Team Yeye going with a save round, trying to play it real cautious, trying to make sure that they have some resources to get into the further round. The whole team pushing on to A with their Brimstone covering the center lane, although he might get shot in the background.
Last player standing.
Yeah, you
Flawless.
can kind of expect that round, Jordan. I mean, Team Weg did just force all Spectres, all of them bought, so. And I believe Team Yeye just still have pistols.
Absolutely. Unfortunately for Team Yeye, they weren't able to take any of them down, which means that Team Weg still gets to use all the same weapons that they were last round, meaning that they're going to have a serious resource advantage coming in on round 3. Although it seems like Team Yeye, using the save round, were able to pick up some rifles as well, so we should see a little bit more even of a match, even as Team Weg looks to pack C site. Once again, being able to roll as a very consistent team while you have your Brimstone holding the flank.
And we have this nice fiber wall. Oh my god, yep, you can't pass through that. You instantly reach 30 health. So passing through that fiber wall is very dangerous. We have Phoenix
Really costly.
blocking line of sight.
We got the walls going up, trying to split them up here a little bit, seeing as Team Weg has been rolling in kind of a death ball with multiple operators pushing
Spike
things
down
up.
mid. One
Looks like we're having
enemy
a big
remaining.
fight over B right now.
It looks like they've on the table.
Hey!
Or it's a 2v1.
We got 2v1. We have a Sage. Does Sage have a
Last player standing.
because then
It's a
she can
1v1, guys.
1v1 coming around this corner.
Nice.
Oh, there it is.
Beautiful,
All right.
Beautiful kill from Jet. Coming on the Sage. It seems like that save round that they did on round 2 really paid off, as they were able to full buy, and there was really no reason for Team Weg to buy new guns because they had Spectres already, and that's already a pretty pricey purchase.
Not quite as conservative as they could be, but then again, I think they were looking to leverage their resource advantage. Looks like Team Yeye still getting a little bit conservative with their weapon options, going with a bullpup as well as the Bucky. We'll see if that can pay off for them, even while they are trying to save a little bit of cash here.
This Viper wall here, Jordan, is just extremely strong. You can't pass that. You really have to respect that wall.
That's what I kind of saw from their team comp earlier. It looks like between the Viper as well as the Killjoy, they were looking to lock down lanes, which is really good in this map, seeing as there's just extremely long lanes, and I don't know if the teams were aware of how prominent marshals or possibly operators are going to be versus simply trying to rush in with.
Yeah, this side doesn't really have too many long lanes, so besides C, there's not really a lot of places to use that operator or marshal. But we do have these teams on the rotate here.
Looks like Team Weg said, nope, we're not going to deal with that today, and instead they're going to try and push another one of the sites. All right, so we have the Reyna going down, so it's currently a 4v3. However, all right, we have the plant going off right now, which means that
Spike planted.
and it's going to be up to Team Yeye in order to push.
Oh, a little bit of a flubbed slow orb from Sage here.
Yes, the abilities in Valorant, they do not discriminate friend or foe.
We have Jet on Heaven.
Yep.
Really did carry that
Last player standing.
last.
There's the push, here's the Bucky.
Oh, the jumping.
It still
Classic,
works.
guys. You really can't go wrong with the jumping shot. That's when you thought they nerfed it. Here.
So it looks like Team Yaya is going to be able to have the luxury of being able to salvage some better weapons and possibly being able to turn things around. It's not necessarily going to be a steamroll here, as we're going into the 5th round with it being 2 versus 2.
And this is what you can kind of expect from this team comp, especially because they have so many smokers on defense. You can really just tell the type of comp that they're trying to play here. So really, really good stuff coming from Team Yaya, although we really just can't be too sure yet because this is just the first 4 rounds and there's a long way to go.
And with a Viper and a Killjoy, we'll have to see how good they're able to push when they're on the offense. And seeing as they're so focused on trying to lock down lane. Alright, so we have Team Weg is pushing up on the A side. Looks like they're pretty consistent here. If Team Yaya can figure out exactly where everybody is, and we might be able to see a flank from their Viper. Everybody playing it real cautious now. It's no longer a one-sided match. As the 2 teams circle each other, looking for any easy picks. Viper getting the first kill here on their Sage, which means that they're not going to be able to have the luxury of that resurrection or that slow. Reyna going through the poison cloud, putting up her blind.
Grim ulted. I'm thinking he was trying to cut off the rotate, maybe.
I believe so, seeing as they're the
One enemy remaining.
Oh, the double
Spike
kill.
down, C.
So Jett making use of the alternate fire on that ulti, which fires as a pretty
much like a shotgun.
It spreads pretty tight, right? Even though
30
you
seconds
use the
left.
shotgun style, it still is really accurate and can do a lot of damage. It's a pretty nasty surprise.
There it is. He's kind of been there and really couldn't do anything.
Fortunately. So Team Yaya managing to turn it around in the defense rounds, and we're gonna. It is the. Oh, it's not quite the switch just yet.
Not just yet. Switch at round 12, but we can see here the kind of eco that each team has. So you can see that Team Weg is forcing, and they're really, really pushing their credits here. Aside from the Sova, who has some credits to spare, we have someone going Vandal. A couple people going Vandal. So
looks like their Jett is finally busting out the operator, going to be holding down that B lane.
And we'll have to see how this does. If you look at the scoreboard, their Jett has been the main carry. 7 frags and 3, for the next second best fragger. So
smoke's down.
Absolutely, but in terms of the operator, it always is kind of a risk. After all, if you're not going frags with it, then unfortunately you are going to be wasting a lot of your resources. Fighter going down.
One enemy
oh my
remaining.
gosh, Killjoy is popping off. Switches to the pistol because it has to reload, but they do have Spike down on site. And if we look at Sova, he's kind of just trapped here.
Unfortunately, cut off by the Viper smoke.
Yeah, and this is where the Viper just comes in clutch because you really have to respect that smoke. And with this team comp of Yaya in general, it's so hard to pass that. I don't think really there's any play for Sova, for Team Weg to do here, aside from kind of either saving this and saving that eco, or to try and get a couple of picks as he sneaks around from behind.
I think based on the timer, he might simply be looking to save, or
30
are
seconds
we gonna
left.
see the rotate?
He doesn't have Spike, so I'd say it's a really tough call, but I would probably just save if I was him. He does have a lot of credits.
Unfortunately, he will go down to the Killjoy.
And I was mistaken, I did say that their Jett was carrying them on the frags, but Killjoy really popping off that round and being the MVP.
Absolutely. Anytime you get 4 kills in a round, you're definitely going to be turning things around for your team.
So Jett still has that op. We'll see what kind of strategies that Weg goes through right now.
Absolutely. I think this is now Team's Yaya game to lose here.
Oh, yeah. And I think a big part of this game is the mental fortitude. If you don't let the fact that you're, on a loss streak get to you, you can really come back.
Absolutely. Things can certainly turn around. Especially when it gets later on, because the economy gets a little bit less draining. The later rounds, you do start to see things like Vandals being able to pop off every single round. And everybody getting a preferred weapon.
Again, they just have to respect that Viper. Getting the orb.
Toxin screen down.
Sending in that Molly.
Viper
That
looks
was kind of the best choice there.
Unfortunately, looks like the Viper's going to be kind of hitting him all in place, especially where she has that wall set up.
It does get the kill and that pick there. Oh, sorry, was that the Sage?
Tough to say, unfortunately. I'm trying to keep track of the map.
You have 2, 3.
Alright, so it looks like we do have the rotate. They are pushing up. Viper not setting up for wall yet. Reno popping her ulti here. Get the blind going in.
You have Reyna here, faking the plant.
Last player standing.
Even on
Spike
Empress,
down,
the Killjoy
B.
has been planted.
Last player standing.
And now's their time to push.
Wow, it is a 1v1, guys. This is coming down to the wire. Sage does have an off, but Killjoy does peek with the turret, and that's what makes Killjoy so strong. She doesn't even
30
have to peek
seconds
herself.
left.
Absolutely, because while that turret doesn't do a ton of damage, it still does stagger, which makes the operator really difficult.
Bomb grenade out.
Gonna see 17 seconds. We're gonna see where the peak comes. The nanite grenade going down, trying to.
Oh my goodness.
10 seconds left.
Really
Sage.
is just playing time here. The smartest play.
Oh, there it is. And unfortunately, Sage is gonna lose that operator.
Yeah. The operator is gone, but very good performance from Sage though.
Absolutely. Killjoy definitely holding her own, especially here on defense.
Merrick from YouTube. Yes, this is James from AORUS. Jordan and I are casting this match. We are by no means pro casters, but we are doing our best. This game is very entertaining to watch as it is to comment, to see all these different teams pull out different types of strategies. So you can definitely tell they're going for a little bit of a save round here on Team Way. I think they really need to build back their team in order to get that comeback. And it looks like we just got picked off with the operator, but we get a 1-for-1 kill with Reyna taking the overheal.
Reyna being able to top off her health once again.
Yep.
Come on, let's go!
Gets the dink, but no dice.
Hopefully not. Looks like we have the operator covering that lane. Nanite grenade trying to restrict their mobility.
Beautiful kill. Let's see if Reyna can get out of there.
Absolutely.
We'll have to use one of the Leers potentially to get out of this corner safely.
Feeling sight.
Luckily, she can throw that through walls, which is a huge advantage.
Sova, aka the real Jake, watching for the flank, but honestly, I think, you know, Team Yaya really has their sights locked down. I don't think they're gonna go for that flank because it is such a risky play.
One enemy remaining.
Spike
Down A.
Phoenix going down, carrying Spike. Oh, and then there
He
goes.
gets a little bit too cocky. You can't take out the knife, man. You gotta always be aware.
Always
You can't
have
do
to
the
be ready.
backwards
30
jump.
seconds left.
Beautiful kill from Reyna. But we do
Down
have
to the
Jet here with
2v1.
the off.
Jet pushing in. We have the plant going right now. Jet hearing it, looking
Spike
to peek.
planted.
Doesn't have a dash, so really has to make the shot count.
Oh, Reyna, where are you looking?
Count indeed. It really is tough because usually on sites like A site for Haven, you are
that
looking
important?
at Heaven for that kind of two-angle approach.
Absolutely.
Beautiful showing here. Everyone is making a great performance. We have, of course, from Team Weg, Ratchet Midget on Reyna as their final fragger, but also Sage, Moist Sage, putting in work. And then on Team Yaya, we have Killjoy and Jet putting in a lot of work here. Jet on that operator doing some really smooth stuff.
Absolutely. She's being pretty oppressive this match, especially with this map being able to hold down quite a few lanes.
Really for the instant wall. It doesn't find anyone. The returned operator from Moist.
Team Weg all packing on this one lane. A little bit risky, especially with, yep, there's the operator already taking out Brimstone. Looks like we have the rotate going right now.
We can really just see here the team rotate.
Ooh, unfortunately the flank right there.
Spike down A.
Sharkbait getting two very easy picks, but Reyna being able to get the refrag.
Omen does hear the footsteps and calls it. He is holding window.
One enemy remaining.
And he called it correctly.
Spike
So it's
down
to
mid.
It challenges Phoenix, who looks like everybody's going to be hunting him down right now. See if he gets
No,
some
you
picks.
don't.
Beautiful kill from Phoenix, but now they do know where she is.
Absolutely.
Oh, such a close showing. Great try from Fallen.
Absolutely. 2 frags is not necessarily bad when you're outnumbered that heavily. Unfortunately, the Vandal only holds so many rounds in the magazine.
Exactly. Jordan, what's your go-to, Phantom or Vandal?
I think it's gonna have to be the Vandal. I really do appreciate needing one less bullet when you're hitting the chest. So unfortunately, I don't have quite the talent to be able to headshot first time every time. So
Yeah, I think that's a hard skill for everyone. We have a couple of questions from the chat asking, is this a best of 3? No, this is a best of 1 for the semifinals. However, I think the finals may be a best of 3. I'm not too sure on the rules, so I haven't decided that yet.
I believe the finals is going to be a best of 1.
Oh, best of 1 as well.
Yes.
Okay, so finals is a best of 1, but I believe we'll be having an exhibition match on Friday with Team AORUS versus the community. So make sure you guys stay tuned.
Absolutely.
Jordan and I will actually be playing on this.
Speaking of staying tuned,
Recalling my box.
it's going to be at the when we have the from offense
Spike
to defense.
planted.
That is when we're going to be giving out our first secret code for today's giveaway. So make sure to stay tuned and not miss your opportunity.
Joke's
to win some
over!
absolutely
You're dead!
Awesome AORUS flags that we cannot wait to show off later on in the video. With the fight
One
going on right
enemy
now
remaining.
Beautiful
over
kill from
Seaside.
Reyna. Look at this miss. Covering Phoenix.
Last player standing.
Phoenix going down, kills Reyna bringing down Killjoy, and Weg finally being able to break the little streak that they had going there. Let's see if this is the point where things turn around once again in the AORUS Valorant Community Tournament.
Yeah, great showing from Reyna here.
You want to bring up the weapons list to see whatever he's picking up, because I'm seeing a couple of Vandals going out right now, still some Spectres, so it still seems like Weg is still trying to save, trying to build up those resources. Meanwhile, it looks like Team Yeye is going fully loaded here. Everybody with their preference of Vandal or Phantom, or Jet still rocking the Operator. Viper going for the early wallbang, just trying to see if she can get lucky in that lane of fire. Looks like Omen gets an early pick on Sage. Killjoy taking out Reyna.
Phoenix uses the flash and utility, but doesn't catch him.
Prepare for hellfire!
Nice Grimon, really forces out Raze into the open. Can't hide behind that box.
Absolutely.
Omen picks up
Spike
one.
down A.
Brimstone, a really useful character for the push, both on offense as well as trying to hold down the lane on defense.
Alarm box
I mean,
down.
it's very easy to use smoke as well as ulti, being able to
One enemy
clear
remaining.
out people if they like kind of hiding behind a corner or behind a certain piece of cover. But unfortunately, it does take some time to build up ults.
Only has Sova alive. I feel like he's the last one alive. I don't know. I think it's probably because he's playing flank. Beautiful. And for this one, I think Weg, Team Weg
Gun here.
really has to
Last round in the half.
use Sova's utility for attack and really use that recon dart as well as the owl drone to really peek more corners, because again, Jordan, when they're up against that Viper wall, it is so hard to just push through that. So you really need to use all the utility you can to really get as much information. So I think Sova is a big key of that, and I think they're just not utilizing his abilities quite enough as they really should be on attacking side.
Absolutely, because Sova can hurl his intel out into the enemy, which means that normally you'll be able to keep really good tabs on these rotations. Because Team Yeye has been really good with the rotations on defense. Meg has been trying to make use of the fact that when you're on offense, you can kind of group up a little bit more. You can make sure to push with the numbers
Recalling my
advantage.
bot.
However, with Team Yeye's rotations, they've been able to do a really good job on defense. We've seen quite a few flanks in this match today, as well as that is Team Weg hasn't been able to outnumber their enemies quite as much as they would like. All right, looks like we have Omen picking up a kill on Phoenix. Reyna going down with the plant in the center site.
Last player
We're gonna have to-
standing.
okay, so Sage getting picked off.
Last player
but
standing.
Sova
The
gets
1v1, we have Sova versus Killjoy.
However, with the plant, it means that Sova's the one that can play the role.
Take
Oh!
out the owl drone!
Poor time to take out the drone.
Oh my gosh.
I'm sorry, the real Jake.
That was such a close one. I don't know why he was trying to take out the owl drone there.
Swarm
I think he
grenade
got a
out.
little. I think he just got a little bit
Out.
spooked trying to figure out exactly what angle Killjoy could possibly
Switching
be coming
sides.
from. As well as that, is the drone would help him to keep eyes on the defuse if trying to figure out if Killjoy is actually defusing or if he was faking it out.
It is true. That is true. But regardless, you know, great showing from both teams.
Absolutely.
Very, very close round.
And we'll see how the tides can turn, especially with offense and defense switching off here. And just like I said, I would be posting up the I would be posting up the secret code for today, or not for today, the first of many for today, which the first secret code is going to be classic in all caps. So make sure to jump onto the Gleam page where you could collect your entries for one of the several swag packs that's going to be going out today, as well as the secret code, which is going to get you 20 entries. And as more codes come out today with today's matches, make sure to cover all the codes to maximize your chances to
Spike
win.
down A.
So it looks like we have an early pick from Brimstone. However, Killjoy managing to pick up the refrag. Team Yay pushing on the site. This around. Everybody going ham with the classics here. Most people trying to save, although we did have a couple of fans.
One enemy remaining. Spike planted. Last player standing.
Yeah, you mean
Coming down to a 1v1, we have Phoenix as well as Sharkbait being super cautious.
they're both kind of in the similar position.
But we do have the
similar
spike
frags.
down.
Oh,
There it
they
is.
get
Yeah,
the
Sharkbait just
headshot.
did not have the health to be able to take on that the shot.
That's a really, really ballsy move. He had his E to heal, but he actually decided to keep going. I'm assuming he didn't heal because he didn't want to reveal his location.
Absolutely,
But
because
that was a beautiful pickup.
sound is always a big giveaway when it comes to Valorant.
So again, this is what we're saying, guys. You know, just because it's 9-4 doesn't mean the game is over. You do see that Weg's defense was really good that round, and I think Team Yaya really has to be careful. I did see them last round, kind of just going in blindly, not checking corners.
They do
Because
have
a classic FPS, FPS style game. You gotta check every single corner and clear out those angles.
as well as that, just the nature of the team picks. Team AA does have a little bit more sedentary of a composition between the Viper as well as the Killjoy. Even Omen. Omen could be really good for rotations, but maybe not so much. Not so much on
Beautiful double kill from Reyna.
Reyna
Picking
getting-
those up. You gotta watch those flanks.
Absolutely, especially since this is the save round. Even if Team Yaya is not trying to necessarily win the round, hopefully they're trying to waste some resources. Since Team Weg did splurge on this round, and it is certainly paying off.
Stim beacon down.
Looks like we have an early.
Trying to clear it out.
Put down.
Ooh,
Gosh, there
No
it is.
charges left.
Sharkbait not quite able to take advantage of hiding around the corner.
Last player
Looks like we have to
standing.
push onto the site, and looks like it's going to be a very easy defuse here for Team Weg.
You can really see Team Weg's defense is very strong, but also very aggressive. Reyna
Absolutely.
went in for the instant flank and got 2 kills. So I really think that Team Yaya has to read the situation and see how Team Weg is playing, which is very aggressive on defense.
Seems like Team Weg knows exactly what they're doing when it comes to rotating to the different lanes, especially at this map, because the lanes are so distinct. There's no teleporters or anything like that to make rotations nice and easy, and it's really easy to get flanked in this map if you're not paying attention. Looks like
Scanning
Team
ahead.
Weg is going to be taking full advantage of that. Looks like we have Soya actually sending out his reconnaissance, trying to get a little bit of early intel. Viper locking down the locking down the route to B. You guys attempting to try and get a easy wall bang, nipping the real Jake a little bit, but there is no hit markers in Valorant, so I don't think she quite knows that she took out half of his health, and I think he has faith in the lack of patience here. Is he going to be able to get that pick? No, not quite. They're not going through the door, deciding we don't want to deal with this today. We're going to rotate the long way around here. Heading over to C, with which we have Phoenix, who is rotating, making sure to cover it, making sure that there's not going to be an easy plant here, while the clock continues to tick down as we have 50 seconds left.
We have Fallen here just holding this angle. Very, very good angle. He can escape if he needs to.
Absolutely.
But at the same time, he has a very solid view of lane.
I don't know if he's quite aware that he has 4 people bearing down
30
on him right
seconds
here.
left.
All right, we have Jet pushing in, making super dash, putting up smoke.
Beautiful kill on Fallen.
Spike
Ball
planted.
going down. Looks like we do have the rotate, but Sage will go down. Rena picking up that kill. Tossing up the blind, but blind getting popped.
Blind, they rushed in right away. They knew he was going to shoot that. So
Last player standing.
Team WEG once again showing that they can play very, very aggressively.
Beautiful. He has no more orbs left.
Fortunately not.
And he has to risk either going and trying to defuse this or saving that Vandal, which, if you can tell, you know, it wouldn't hurt to save this, you know. 3150 spreads. You can try and go for it. Misses the lineup.
Don't rush me.
Ooh, got a little bit greedy with the defuse. Didn't quite fake him out, and got peeked. So that is going to lead to Team Yaya picking up another win here. 10-5. So unfortunately, Team WEG will have to see if they can make use of the few rounds that they have left. They're going to have to pull out quite the streak here in order to turn things around.
Things are now a little bit even. You have 1 Spectre on each team, 4 rifles on the next. Everyone's econ is fairly similar as well, so this round could be anyone's. I really do think this round will come down to more so skill, and this is a nice, really good refresh.
Yikes with that Viper showing quite a few credits, so Viper does have quite a bit of room to be able to play a little bit more aggressively. All right, looks like you have the push up on the A. Ooh,
Spike down
early
A.
pick on Jet.
You should run.
You have a question from YouTube. Are all these teams from NA? Yes.
Absolutely.
This is a North America only community tournament, and this is kind of our very first one. So we do hope to have other regions as you know, as this grows. But as of right now, yes, this is only NA.
And if you are interested in more tournaments like this, make sure to join up on the AORUS gaming community, either via Facebook or on Discord. We would love to have you guys there, and that's going to be the #1 place to find out about or other events that we have.
They now know what Killjoy is. I think she's going to go for the plant and use a Nano Swarm bait strap.
Yep, but we do have Luna rotating in. Phoenix is going to be right behind her. Oh, there it is.
Assuming that they're going to come from their own place.
Looks like Team WEG isn't done quite yet.
Definitely. This is far from
You will expect us to work.
What's up with the horn? I think that's well deserved because Reyna does have 24 frags on their team. Really showing off their strength. I think, Jordan, they're really playing off of Reyna's strengths here.
Absolutely.
And just letting her go nuts and on you know, fragging out. And you can kind of see that in their gameplay style. Again, very aggressive. And I think a lot of this stuff is to support that Reyna.
There's been several rounds that have really been decided by Reyna getting 2 early picks, getting that health, being able to push up and just absolutely take over a lane. Although unfortunately, Reyna hasn't had too many opportunities to completely flank and go the long way through the opposing team's spawn. But neither team has necessarily had that luxury, seeing as the pushes have been going quite quick in this game. All right, looks like the
Ray's ulti comes through.
Entire team pushing up mid. Jet trying to cover flank defense here.
Get out of my way!
Spike planted.
Absolutely.
Retreats to safety. We have Jet on the flank, going through garage. Sova, get Sova.
Sova. All right.
Killjoy with the pistol out. Didn't think she really stood a chance there. Going for the instant defeat. Using Grim got it to half.
Don't
Going for the other
Ooh,
half.
let's see. Down to a 3v2.
Oh my
You really
god.
expect us to work.
Still win on the defenders.
Absolutely.
So that lineup is strong, but they have to know that essentially what you're giving up on the lineup is you're giving up an extra person. You know, so the lineups for Mollies and Vipers and Killjoys is very risky.
So, James, while Viper's abilities do immediately take 30 health, are they actually lethal? Are they capable of killing an operator, or do they simply reduce your health?
For the smokes, they just reduce your health and instantly decays. It will, as soon as you leave the smoke, it will go back up. But that, when you pair it with volley lineups,
Ooh, getting
interesting
caught early.
choice from-
Yeah, trying to put out that
Silva.
recon arrow, which would have given a lot of very valuable intel. Unfortunately, he did have to sacrifice his life for that one. So
Yeah, you
I
really
think it'd
have to
quite
just
be worth it.
play a little bit back.
Viper putting up that line that allow to rotate.
Beautiful flank.
Absolutely.
Sorry, beautiful push from Mondo. We have a 2-2 now. We have the two top fraggers on each team. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Almost the two top fraggers on each team. So we'll see how. These are both some of their best players. We have a plant on C from Jet.
You mind popping back over to the stage?
I'm sorry, what was that?
You mind popping back over to the stage real quick while we have these rotates going on? Ooh, Sage managed to pick up one more kill. She will have her ulti ready, which is always something that's going to swing around.
Oh yeah, definitely. The only thing about this is none of her teammates are near this site, so I don't think even if she gets a kill, she'll be able to make use of that ult this round. We have Reyna going in with the Leer. Getting rid of that Killjoy's turret.
The Killjoy is up.
I am not a fan of these two holding the same angle. But
Yeah, that's going to be a real risky push.
of course, they fake the defuse to pop the mollies. But they're playing time. I don't think they're able to do it.
Last player standing. One enemy
Killjoy
remaining.
going down.
Okay.
Oh,
Nice.
yep. Reyna, her Jet being able to pull it through.
Oh,
Sage looked away at the last second. Oh, but Jet barely managing to hang on to her weapon.
Jeffrey from Facebook asks, when is the pre-order for the FI32U? Guys, you gotta stay tuned on the AORUS community. That's where we do the pre-orders. So make sure you guys do join the AORUS Facebook and AORUS Discord community.
I guarantee that you guys will be the first ones to find out, those of you who are members of our AORUS gaming community on either Facebook or Discord.
Claw through them.
We have what could be our... oh no, it's first to 13, not 12. So,
Yeah, 13. Sorry about that. So
can you guys tell I play Spike Rush a lot?
we have Sage.
Sage being to pick on Killjoy, but Sharkbait being able to get the refrag.
Yep, it is a 1-for-1. Some of their top players on their team's down.
Omen taking over.
Gets the frag on Phoenix, going for the plant.
Spike planted.
Unfortunately, Reyna is out of the game. 2 players left on each side.
2 versus 4 with the spike down. Looks like we have Team Yaya spreading out, trying to make sure that they don't get flanked. We do have the toxin cloud going down.
Last player standing.
But the refrag being picked up on Brimstone, down to a 3v1.
It's a little bit
Turn this
harder
around.
because of that Viper ultimate.
There you are, you little shit.
There it is. I think the Silva being a little bit too cautious,
Match point.
especially when you're the only one left, because the other team has been rotating quite often, which means that you're usually going to get shot in the back if you're trying to simply hunker down and make use of your recon zone.
Oh yeah. And they have match point here. This is really the time for WEG to step it up all or nothing. The unfortunate thing is they are down on credits, so you're going up against a team with full rifles versus a team with full specters and a judge. So Reyna is really, I think, really trying to play close corners with this judge.
Oh yeah.
So we'll see.
So we'll see if this is where Team Yaya brings it home, or if we see a miraculous comeback from Team WEG.
You can see both teams playing very, very cautiously.
Super cautiously.
You see, Raze does get the pickup on Brim.
On Brim, looks like we do have the rotation. I believe it's been called to pack it up and go to another site. All pushing together, looking to leverage their numbers advantage here.
Charges.
Well, numbers and weapon advantage. All right, we have smokes going out, bomb buddy going out, grenade going out.
They did spot one head of There it is, the Reyna with the judge. Exactly what she wanted. But now that they know she has a judge, she is cut off.
Absolutely, they're going to want to be nowhere near those corners.
Last player standing.
Viper gets caught while reloading.
And that's it. I mean, that's the round for Team WEG. Great.
Yep.
Really, when the time came down to it, that's awesome. Now's their time to pick up all the rifles. Don't have to spend $1.
Yep.
And now,
Time to turn that resource advantage right around.
exactly, things are going to be on the reverse.
All right, Team WEG, this is their time to come back.
Everything's even now.
I
don't
love a
know.
close match like this.
Okay, so we do have a couple people down on resources.
We do, especially with Team Yaya's Jet. They are picking up the operator. They're looking to get those long-range picks.
So operators on attacking side is such a risky move because
You're so slow.
you don't have that advantage, you know.
Yeah, you are the one that's going to be peaking, as well as that is just movement speed-wise. You're so slow, so slowly. Just like that. Yep, and Jet is now missing half of her health.
And that's why it's risky. You don't have that advantage, that peeker's advantage.
Absolutely. Especially with the C route, just because the defenders can lock down that lane almost immediately, even if you're not somebody with smokes, or even if you're not a killjoy. Just being able to sit still, that first shot can be lethal from something like a Vandal.
And this is really going to hurt them because they don't have a Sage, they don't have a Sky to heal, and this is one of their top fraggers that we're talking about. But Sage does have a res, so that's just another piece of resource that they have. Phoenix also has the ult and Sova.
Once again, with these really cautious advances, we're going to have to see how the timer plays out here, seeing as Team Yaya might have to get a little less cautious.
You can kind of see here, a couple making approach to the garage. They looks like they are going to.
All right, Ray's getting the first kill on
30
Sage.
seconds left. You should run.
Looks like Team Weg moving into moving onto site, trying to get the plant.
This is it. This is the final.
Spike planted.
This could be it.
It isn't even 4v4. They did take out a member of the
The Killjoy, unfortunately, not locking down anybody. It's down to a 2v4. Sova trying to get some.
Last player
Can't
standing.
just sit there. All right, luckily the Killjoy was picked off, so the turret is now deactivated. But now it's down to a 1v3.
And that's it, guys.
Yeah.
Attackers win.
Team Yaya.
Team Yaya
really
is gonna
making
be
the
the,
showings for them.
So Team Yaya going on to the final round of the Valorant Community Tournament. But Team Weg did put on a really good showing. We had a really good back and forth. It seemed like it was going to be all for Team Weg early on. Then Team Yaya managed to bring it back, but Team Weg wasn't necessarily going to roll over and get steamrolled.
That was definitely incredible. That was very close. Something where you were holding your breath almost the entire time.
Absolutely.
My God. Congratulations, Team Yay. And thank you so much for participating, Team Weg. You guys did excellent. Absolutely excellent.
So while we set up our second match, Matt, Mike, do you want to show off some of the prizes that people can win by entering in the secret codes that we're going to be giving out today?
Yes, we have plenty of different little swag items for you guys to receive. We obviously have here our little mini motherboard building blocks set here. I'm going to put that in the front.
I know a lot of you guys in the community have been asking when's an opportunity when you can win those again, and today is definitely that day, so make sure to get in those entries.
We also got ourselves one of our little crossbody bags. This actually is really nice. I have one at home.
Yeah.
I use it for my camera. It's
Which
amazing for that.
actually we've been showing off in previous episodes of AORUS TV, if you want to see it. Although, James, are we allowed to open it? Okay. So while you're getting the next prize,
Yeah.
we're gonna have us a mini unboxing here.
We also have a little mini set. If you want to upgrade your life, you go ahead and do so with this Gigabyte notepad, as well as a bit of a charging kit next to it.
There we go. Here's the
And-
crossbody bag. Seeing as we've been giving away plenty of these and we haven't always had the opportunity to show them off, I actually really like these. These are brand new. We've only been giving these out, I think last month. So you guys will be one of the first few that can manage to get a hold of one of our crossbody bags. So make sure to enter in the secret codes.
Yeah, and last but not least, we also have ourselves a GPU holder. Oh, I'm gonna open this later. As well as if you want to style on people, you can go ahead and wear our Gigabyte Extreme Gaming hat.
Alamer, so glad you could join us.
And I also want to remind what our participants, our players, are playing for right now.
Absolutely.
Of course, for fourth player, we're going to go ahead and tally up all of those points to make sure who receives fourth player at the very end of this. They'll be receiving a big, massive swag pack for every individual teammate as well. For third place, we're going to go ahead and provide an AORUS K1 and an AORUS M5 mouse. So, bit of a peripheral set. Second place, we're going to go ahead and each member is going to receive a G24FC 27-inch monitor. Yeah, that's right. Every single one. And lastly, first place is what everyone is fighting for. We got ourselves an AMD Ryzen 7 5800X CPU, a X570 AORUS Master, a 1TB M.2 AORUS solid state drive, as well as, once again, the 27-inch monitor, as aforementioned before. So
Absolutely.
That is a full set of products for every single member.
Alimer on Twitch has it right. That's going to be a wonderful PC upgrade, just right out of the box there.
Absolutely. And of course, for those who are watching at home right now, as mentioned before, we also have our Gleam Giveaway going on right now. Of course, we have our individual little swag items that you guys could win. But in addition, the big ticket item that'll be announced on the finals is the AMD Custom PC.
Absolutely, which I actually have the specs of it right here, since I know a lot of you guys have been asking. It's going to be, the CPU is going to be a Ryzen 5 5600 XT. Its motherboard is going to be a B550 Pro AC, and I know a lot of you guys are always want to know about the GPU. So it is going to be a Gigabyte RX 6700 XT gaming OC, and it's going to be a full PC that we are going to build and send out to you. So make sure to get as many entries as you possibly can. Speaking of as many entries as you possibly can, I do have the second secret code for today. So make sure you have the Gleam pulled up, because if you entered in the first code, which was classic in all caps, you can enter in this code as well and get even more entries. So the second code for today is going to be operator, and that's in all caps. So make sure to go to the Gleam, get as many entries as you can, because these are not just going to be for today's swag items, but they're also going to be for that PC. So make sure to tune in both today as well as Friday for the finals and maximize your chances to win that brand new PC that a lot of you guys are chomping at the bit to get.
All right, let's go ahead and take a quick 10-minute break, and we'll be right back with the next team, which is Tyrant Gaming and Arrow Owls. And welcome back. We're going to go ahead and with the second round of the semifinals. And of course, just a reminder, we have Tyrant Gaming and AORUS. We just watched Team WAG and Team Yeye. Team Yeye taking that win. So congratulations to you guys. Just a reminder to everyone, this is for a bunch of AMD, AORUS, Gigabyte products that you guys or these players can win. But for those at home who are watching or just joining us right now, you can also win something too. Go ahead and check out our giveaway links that are going on in chat right now. And you can win a custom AMD system as well as some amazing AORUS and Gigabyte swag.
Before we went on our break, we showed off some of the prizes, but as Mike promised, we are showing off the AORUS RGB GPU bracket that you can also win. I know that there's a lot of you guys in the community that have been begging for some of these, especially since they love to show up on one of our other community events, which is Powered by AORUS, which is on AORUS TV, as well as AORUS Plays. For those of you who are joining us purely for the Valorant Community Tournament, if you're having a lot of fun, make sure to tune in every Wednesday at 4 o'clock and every Friday at 4 o'clock for AORUS Plays or AORUS TV, which is our normal programming. But
today the community takes over.
Absolutely.
And if you want to be part of the community, don't forget to go ahead and join our Facebook gaming community as well as our Discord. I believe there may be a command or a link going in right now in chat, so please join us, have some fun, talk to some tech heads, and join in some future tournaments.
Absolutely, because if we're going to be putting on any more events like these in the future, the AORUS gaming community is going to be the first place where you find out about it.
All right, let's go ahead and start with our second match. Once again, a reminder with Tyrant Gaming and AORUS. So, let's get it started.
All right, good luck, everybody. All right, and we're loading into Split, which actually, I believe this is the new map that was added in the last update. So, I think our callouts might not be, could be a little bit better. But luckily, the maps are super useful in Valorant. They're, for those of you guys who like your competitive shooters, like your Sieges, Valorant is really, really helpful in helping you out with callouts, which is probably one of the biggest problems of trying to learn a new competitive shooter like this, which you can actually see that I jumped into it only about a week ago on AORUS Plays, if you want to tune into those old episodes, because we do still have our monthly giveaways going on with those, and you can get some extra entries. That said, for those of you guys who are interested in giveaways, go ahead and wait till the Defender and Attacker switch. That is when we'll be announcing our secret code. Looks like we have a little bit of indecision here over who the teams are going to be picking. Although Beta on team, can you switch to the other composition, James? It's the previous team names. There we go. Team AORUS, which let me make sure that it is on the right side. Okay. Team AORUS with that early Sage pick. Although Tyrant Gaming is going to mirror it with their own Sage. Looks like we have Jet, Killjoy, and Omen, and Jet, Killjoy, and Omen. It actually is almost a mirror match, except, hey, look at that. We have KO and Rena on Team Tyrant Gaming, whereas AORUS are going with Jet as well as Raze. So kind of the old reliables versus some of the newer characters that have been added since the game has been released. That said, we do get to see KO, which has just been added in, I think, just earlier this week. For those of you guys who are unfamiliar, although maybe very familiar with Valorant, KO is actually a really interesting addition. For some of you guys who love your old school CSGO, or CSGO is not necessarily old school, but old school Counter-Strike, KO is going to seem really familiar, as all of his, I believe all of his abilities, you actually throw out grenade style. He's got a flashbang, he's got a frag grenade, and most interestingly, he has a way of shutting down abilities. He actually has one of the first silences that is in Valorant and can have quite a big effect on a push. Looks like we have Tyrant Gaming all stacking up on the A side. This map is quite large, and it seems like everything kind of funnels into that middle lane, which can make rotates quite dangerous.
We have Team Tyrant Gaming pushing in. Very, very big stuff on pistol round. We got a couple of shotguns.
Ooh, very aggressively. Team AORUS definitely making them pay for grouping up like that with shorties just spraying into the smoke. Got a cure in the world. So it looks like they are going for the push.
One enemy remaining.
Cobra with that Twitch shooting. Oh,
beautiful. They
Buddy
brought
is gonna
out
lose
the
his pistol.
shorties.
You know, those shorties really did pay off, because you do just kind of have the ability to just spray into the smoke, hopefully get some damage on there. And unfortunately, Tyrant Gaming did group up pretty tightly, which meant that they did suffer quite a bit from just a wanton fire into the smoke. You think they were gambling on AORUS just saving on Classics?
This is a really risky move, I would say, from Tyrant Gaming. The reason being is because they brought in KO, which is new, so a lot of people don't really know his strengths, his weaknesses.
And there it was, his silence going out, which also detected that there is a Sage nearby. Sage managing to bring down the KO, still being able to safely just hide around that corner and wait. Ray is getting a little bit too overconfident with that satchel charge, trying to get some early damage in there, as we have the large fight going on in that center lane. Like I said, this map likes to either funnel to the sides or all in that center lane. There's not too many ways that you can advance. So it looks like we are going to see a lot of these really big team fight style engagements here.
And now Tyrant Gaming is taking the force, using all of their credits to go straight into Vandal Phantom round. And you can see here that Arrow Owls is still sticking with their Spectres. And so we'll kind of see if the gun advantage is going to help out Tyrant Gaming, or if Arrow Owls' skill can still keep up with their Spectres.
Absolutely, seeing as a lot of them have quite a bit of credits, which means that even if this round does go wrong for them, they're not necessarily going to be falling behind in terms of weapons. Seems like Tyrant Gaming is actually hanging back a little bit. They're not pushing quite as aggressively as they did, trying to get a little bit of reconnaissance, even though they, I guess they have Omen. Omen can gather some intel, although he's mainly there for the smoke. Looking to see if they can get any picks. We have a lot of smoke going out right now, trying to obscure all the lanes. Both teams dancing around each other, looking for those picks. This is no longer a match of just nothing but gigantic death balls. It seems like everybody's spread out, so we're going to have a lot of smaller engagements going on around the map as both teams advance. This is the point where communication is really going to make a really big advantage, seeing as the second that one teammate is found, one team member is found, I should say, that's probably where the call's going to go out. We're going to see a lot of rotations, and this map loves to funnel rotators into one another.
We get a pick on mid here. Both teams actually playing fairly passively.
Very cautiously.
Very, compared to round one, very explosive. KO does use the suppress knife to scout out anyone. Really no one there.
All right, looks like we have the plant going down, although, like James said, it is going to be really safe. It seems like Team Arrow Owls was playing it really cautiously, even though they had nothing but Spectres. Isn't the damage drop off of that gun at a range really going to put them at a disadvantage from versus Tyrant?
Yeah, it really is, since Tyrant has the far superior guns here. Again, that's why this round will be interesting.
Sage getting a pick on Jet.
But Phil, you can see just skill does outplay the
absolutely.
gun. Vandal versus that Spectre.
Killjoy versus Killjoy. Killjoy picks up the kill for Tyrant Gaming in this case. However, it
Flash
seems
doesn't hit.
Omen managing to get a refrag, bringing it down. It is 1 versus 3. Tyrant Gaming holding down the site with the spike countdown on their side, and unfortunately, Omen is not even going to be able to quite save. Although it seems like KO is going to lose his weapons from the explosion of the spike. You always got to get away from that, man. But Tyrant Gaming is going to pick up their first win, which means that it is going to bring it to 1-2 with Arrow Owls having the advantage here. So seems like we're having similar strategies to what we saw in the first round, with one site being packed. However, this is where it's going to come down to Team Arrow Owls' rotations, trying to make sure that they can kind of even out the numbers advantage here. Well, they might be spreading out.
It's a very powerful turret placement from Killjoy. You can't really hit that. It does catch you on the cross as soon as you get out of the garage.
Ooh, Sage picking up an early kill. However, Ray's getting the refrag.
Does get silenced, but not too much any follow-up after that.
So it's still going to be even, and neither team has their res. But luckily with Ray's getting that very safe refrag doesn't mean that either team is going to be at a disadvantage in terms of health. Looks like we have both teams kind of swapping off here for a sec. They're looking to see where they can push. Although I think we might have an engagement in mid. Both teams staring at each other through smoke. We have sprays going on through smoke, trying to take out Sage's wall, open up more paths. Another rotation going on right now. They did not like that mid lane. It seemed like Arrow Owls locked down that lane a little bit too hard, and they're willing to sacrifice a bit of time for what hopefully will be a safer advance.
We have the slow push here. Only Jet defending the site, but they do see. I'm pretty sure they're going to make a quick rotate as Team Arrow Owls does do that, making over the quick quick rotate.
Smoke going out, obscuring the lines of fire. Ooh, Jet
Beautiful
being able to pick off Omen. However, Tyrant Gaming is going to be claim 2 kills for it, with KO managing to get the refrag.
And uses the fake plant to
Ooh,
bait
the fake
out
plant,
the
but
team, but does die
10
themselves.
seconds left.
It is a 1v1. If they can pick this up,
Raze versus Rena, the plant, she's going to gamble it.
Planted.
Oh, but it
nice
is going to cost her a life. So Raze is going to get a super safe defuse, bringing the 3rd round for AORUS. Just showing off with the victory grenade. Alright, you mind bringing up the weapons list? We'll see what people are trying to plan in terms of save or spend. Yeah, so it looks like Tyrant Gaming is going on with the save round. We have a lot of pistols, some SMGs going out. Looks like they're them trying to buy rifles even though they weren't necessarily bringing home victories round by round. Seems like they're finally going to be paying for it. Although it seems like AORUS is actually playing it quite cautiously themselves. Although that might just be their last purchase, so I think they still may have quite a few primaries. Both teams having suffered quite heavily.
Jet with the ult save here,
Yep.
hoping to pick up a kill.
If you have your ult charged with Jet, you don't necessarily need to have a good run. Ooh, but she is going to get dragged down just by sheer numbers. Dropping nothing but a classic.
This does leave only one person on AORUS to defend the site through heaven. We have Sage here taking up.
Ooh,
The flank does get him.
Yep, Raze with that flank. Sage on AORUS. Fortunately, sprang just a little bit too hard with the sheriff. That's what. I always get the sheriff and marshal mixed up.
Omen pretty much down to 1 HP. Can't really do anything here.
Ooh, however, they are going to get the pick on Raze, bringing it to a 2v2,
2v2,
both
each
with a
person.
member heavily wounded. So I think it's really going to come down to who manages to flank the other.
They do still have ults here.
Absolutely.
Back.
Which a Killjoy ult could be pretty nasty if you're trying to rush a plant.
Nice not planting default.
Yep.
Placing alarm bot.
Alright, Killjoy managing to be able to set up a little bit here. That little bit of damage can make a big difference when you have team members that are so low on health.
One enemy
Advancing through the
remaining.
smoke. Looks like we have one.
And AORUS gets the kill.
Absolutely. Unfortunately, with Killjoy's abilities being on cooldown means that she couldn't cover every single angle. And they were flanked by the rotate. Ooh, and AORUS' Killjoy being able to pick up a free Vandal for the deal. So AORUS currently leading 4-1, having the advantage here. Although a lot of these matches have been really bloody, so it may only be a slight resource advantage over Team Tyrant Gaming. Tyrant Gaming once again just all really trying to ball up, trying to press the numbers advantage, seeing as they are on the attack. Once again, advancing very cautiously. They are making sure to check their corners, trying not to get lost by any too sudden picks. Omen casting through walls.
Run for you.
Killjoy does use the ultimate to finally go and push onto site.
Yep, being used with a push rather than being used is to try and guarantee to buy them a couple more seconds.
Actually, AORUS aren't even over-rotating.
No, they definitely are not.
Back. Oh, but Ray's
Ooh.
rocket gets Sage on site through the smoke.
Which will deny that res. That ult is really nasty when you have a lot of smokers because you kind of don't have to care about smoke when you have a gigantic AoE.
Raze is one tap here.
Healing.
Really playing it super cautious. Okay, the spike is down, so AORUS having to advance. Alright, Killjoy playing it super cautiously with the turret, although can't you play cautiously when the spike is down?
Killjoy's really just pinned here, doesn't really do much.
But
does
she
pick
will.
up the kill.
Yep, she will manage to bring down
One
Rena
enemy remaining.
Suppress that brim.
and take out the KO, which will allow them to defuse, being able to make sure that the 6th round goes to Team AORUS, bringing it to 5-1.
Last player standing.
They do get it just in time.
Oh, never
Wow.
mind. Actually, this is going to go to Tyrant Gaming. I called it a little
Yeah.
bit too early.
He did pop the mollies
Yes.
on that bomb. And first I was confused because like, why is their own Killjoy popping their own Molly?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's confusing when there's two to tell which Molly is whose.
I might have been watching the map a little bit too hard and not player names.
But there it is. Tyrant picks up their first round. Beautiful stuff. The start of a comeback? I don't know. We'll see.
We'll definitely see. Alright, so unlike the cautious advantages before, we have some really early peaks, which unfortunately is going to cost Arrow Owls, seeing as their Raze got brought down. Their Raze actually has been carrying quite heavily, seeing as she's been making some real big plays. Alright, Killjoy managing to be able to set up on the flanks, which means that even though there is the smoke down, the turret is still going to be laying down fire in that, which is always a really nasty feature of that thing.
We do have an enemy Killjoy ultimate here.
Yep. Killjoy ultimate going to lock everybody down and is going to let people know exactly how many people are in that massive AoE, which means that the Killjoy, when it does go off, it is a pretty big play. Alright, looks like Tyrant Gaming was able to back off enough to make sure that they were able to back off enough to not get caught inside.
This is almost an impossible win here.
It's going to be really tough for Killjoy. She's going to have to play it real cautiously.
Especially with the suppression.
Yep.
Can't use any of those.
Suppression, Sage Ice, there's a wall. Oh, putting down the turret. Trying to do something. Alright, thankfully she's not just going to try and steamroll through that one lane of fire, which would have ended really poorly. I have a feeling she might either is really going for the long flank, or she might simply be trying to save.
Definitely saving here.
Yeah.
You know, especially with that econ. With the team's econ, you really just have to save that Vandal. I think that's just a smarter play.
Oh, it was a Vandal. I thought it was a Spectre for a moment. That's why I was like, why is she saving? It's just a Spectre, but no, Vandal and Shield is really valuable to hang on to, so it can definitely make the difference, especially when you do have the round advantage here. So that will give Tyrant Gaming their second round with a lot of their team members alive, so that means that they should have the resource advantage this round. I want to bring up what everybody's picking up right now. And you can see it right here. Looks like a lot of Arrow Owls is sticking with classics. You do have a Marshal going out. Meanwhile, Tyrant Gaming picking up all rifles. Everybody has shields. They are loaded to the gills. They are looking forward to trying to bring back their score. Trying to pick up a few more rounds before the switch off.
They do know that KO is at B with that suppression.
Yep. So it looks like we have the Nanites grenades going out, although KO is being proactive enough to be able to pop them, make sure that they can't go off. At least I think so. I think actually because you don't have the HUD elements, you can't necessarily see the Nanite grenades. So we'll see if the Killjoy knows when to pop those, because they can do damage.
And Sage does get the pick,
Ooh.
even though Killjoy had that angle advantage.
Yep, they're just able to mop up here with so few members of Arrow Owls having body armor. They can just simply body shot with the Vandal.
Beautiful headshot.
Although Raze does manage to drag one of them down.
Just not enough. And Tyrant Gaming really making that comeback.
Especially with Omen being really proactive with picking up the refrags there, making sure that if one of them does get brought down, then they're definitely not going to be given that for free.
And now it's not just the gun advantage, but Team Tyrant Gaming has 3 ultimates. They have KO's ultimate, which is basically a long EMP. Omen's ultimate for a quick rotate, and Sage for the res. So they have a lot of strong support ultis here, and we'll see how Arrow Owls respond.
So you can see the difference with the resource advantage here, because while both teams have rifles, somebody didn't buy heavy armor. We'll have to see if that does come back to bite them. It can make the difference, especially when you have so many Vandals and Phantoms, because well, it may not make much of a difference if it's a game of who headshots who first, but that can make the difference with the chest shot. Looks like Rena is going to pick up a Raze. However, Omen is right there to get the refrag. Arrow Owls managing to pick off their Sage. So despite Tyrant Gaming have the advantage with ultimates, they're not going to be able to get a free res and be able to get the numbers back. Which their Sage managing to bring back Raze, bring this to a 5v2 as Killjoy goes down. So it looks like Raven rotates over all the sites, trying to find out where the last 2 members of Tyrant Gaming are bringing the spike, because while several members did go down,
oh, he's right when Raze got to use the Boombot.
Yep,
she got suppressed.
Boombot getting denied by KO. Like I said, silence being brought into Valorant is a really, really big deal, seeing as the ability play in this game is quite prominent. Ooh, while Sage did get the first shot, unfortunately KO got the first headshot. KO also making sure not to get hit with the boom bot, because that always is bad news. I think there's so much damage. Be a little funky when you're trying to get it. Alright, he's throwing his flashbang, but that doesn't do much, especially with Killjoy hiding behind her turret, relying on that turret to take a couple bullets for her, which can make the difference, which is going to mean that it's going to be 6-3 in AORUS advantage, although Tyrant Gaming certainly isn't giving up just yet with these last few rounds.
And you can see kind of the play that KO went for that standard CSGO pop flash, I believe. So trying to flash right over the box and peek so that way he doesn't get flashed. Very strong stuff if used correctly. But again, KO very interesting, revealing a lot of information on where the enemy is at, as well as just shutting down these abilities.
It's not quite as easy as Phoenix's flash, but KO does bring a lot of utility outside of Phoenix. Although being able to effortlessly lob flashes around corners is always a desirable skill. Looks like we have a flank here, bringing down both Rina as well as Omen. AORUS getting very easy picks here, which is going to bring it to a 4v1 with Killjoy only being one hit away. Oh, it was not a very good round. Unfortunately, just those flanks, just one after another. That coordination meaning that Team Tyrant Gaming just unfortunately didn't know where to look. They're getting shot in the back for a lot of those plays, which in Valorant with such quick time to kill, is just going to be bad news. AORUS even managing to be able to salvage some guns here, being able to help save a little bit of cash. It looks like their Killjoy might just be looking to save, maybe get a pick, but I think she's just going to play it super cautiously and is going to make sure that at least she does. Is she going to be going into the next round with Vandal, trying not to be put too far on the back foot with the resource advantage, especially because AORUS has 4 of their members alive, which means that they're going to be saving quite a bit of money.
30 seconds left.
Especially because it looks like both Killjoy and Omen are untouched, meaning I believe they don't even have to buy armor next round, which is
more good eco for them.
Actually, compared to last round, the last match, I should say, the operators seem to come out very, very early.
10 seconds
it seems
left.
like both of these teams are very dedicated to their rifles. It seems mostly Vandals versus Phantom fans, but both teams really sticking to their rifles. We're not seeing too many awkward save picks, such as a Bucky or maybe a Judge.
All these beautiful skins too. Look at this.
Absolutely. You can tell
Nice
these
skins.
many members of our community do play quite a bit of Valorant, so they're pretty eager to show off all their skins. I love that axe. Is that a what do you call it? Is that from an operator contract, or is that?
That is from one of the skin bundles called Glitch Pop.
Ah, okay.
It has like a very cyberpunk vibe to it.
Absolutely. I love that axe. So I'm kind of sad that it's not from a operator contract.
I know.
So, however, for those of you guys who are watching today who are interested in Valorant, just know that the game is entirely free. Don't worry, KO may be brand new, but he's not exclusive for a week. He's not super overpowered just because he's new when you buy him. I believe it's every 5 levels you get an operator, right?
Every 5
Alarm bot.
levels in the beginning, yes. You do get 2 free people.
And you can start out with the brand new KO if you would like.
Exactly.
So, it's very simple to get up and running in this game, so I highly recommend you try it, especially if you're a member of the AORUS gaming community, because, well, as you can see, there's plenty of people that are eager to play, and the AORUS gaming community, they're, at least in my opinion, they're super nice there, and they've been very, very welcoming to new players. So if you're scared of getting screamed at, because this is a very competitive game, I would say the AORUS game community is usually really welcoming of new players.
Pushing B here for Tyrant Gaming. Does get to pick up a kill. AORUS making the rotate.
Is Reyna managing to get the soul from that, because they immediately get pushed off of it. Looks like she's going to pick up a second kill. Ooh, we have quite a match going on right now. When the dust is settled, it's going to leave one Omen at half health versus KO, as well as Reyna. Reyna hanging on to a ton of souls, which means that she's going to win this gunfight with Omen, giving Tyrant Gaming their 4th round. It's not completely one-sided in the AORUS favor just yet. Tyrant Gaming has plenty of fight in them, especially since they can play the resource game here. And as you see it right there, it is the last round before the swap, which means it's the last round before those of you guys watching are going to be getting your 3rd secret code for today to get as many entries as you can to win some of the awesome AORUS swag that me and Mike previewed earlier on in the broadcast, as well as land as many entries as you can in order to win that AMD gaming PC. And while we're waiting for both teams to set up, oh wait, no we're not. But that said, I still do want to thank AMD for sponsoring the AORUS Valorant Community Tournament, and they're responsible for the prizes being so awesome today, which I always love to be able to give away such great stuff to you guys as a little thank you for tuning in today. So it looks like we have our first firefight going on right now. Jet managing to pick off Reyna. However, Tyrant Gaming picking up several refrags, catching a lot of AORUS out of position during their rotate, meaning that they can just take over this bomb site. The spike is going down, so it's going to be up to Omen to try and push, and unfortunately he cannot bring it together, meaning that Tyrant Gaming is going to be scoring their 5th round at the switch, bringing us to 7-5 with AORUS in the lead. However, it is still a really close match, which makes me super happy. Both games in the AORUS Valorant Community Tournament are super close, which I always love to see. Both teams absolutely giving it their all. That said, I know chat's probably chomping at the bit right now to know what the third code is for today. So the third code is going to be Phantom in all caps, just like the rest of our codes. So make sure to jump in the Gleam, enter in that code, get your 20 additional entries. And for those of you who are just tuning in for Valorant and maybe not coming from the AORUS gaming community, I highly suggest going through those other Gleam options, which will see you join in our AORUS gaming community, just in case we hold any of these other events, because we would love to have you guys. And I would also love to see you on AORUS Plays at Wednesdays at 4, where it's not necessarily super competitive like this. It's a lot more of a chill atmosphere, a nice way to take a break halfway through the week. And AORUS TV, our brand new tech talk, or not brand new tech talk show, but our tech talk show, finding out about our brand new AORUS tech, which if you want to know about everything that we're coming out with here at AORUS, that is definitely the place to find out. So looks like we have AORUS leading with a 4-3 advantage right here, managing to take over the bomb site. It's going to be up to Tyrant Gaming in order to rotate. Killjoy going really cautiously, making sure to check her corners here in the pistol round. She is boasting a James, I forgot the name of that pistol.
Is a Ghost.
The Ghost, that's what it is. The Ghost, really good pistol if you're willing to shell out a little bit. While it doesn't have quite the hitting power of the Marshall, right? That's not the lever action.
Yeah.
Or the Sheriff is the revolver, right?
Yes.
Okay. I want to call it the Deagle so bad because it's just the Deagle. Compared to the Deagle, it still has the one-shot headshot capability. It does have a much bigger magazine, but it's not nearly as powerful when it comes to hitting people in the chest. So if you can be calm, if you can land those headshots, it's a wonderful weapon. Really comparative to the 5.7 for those of you guys more familiar with Counter-Strike. So going into here with AORUS taking the win, they are going to be springing for what looks like Spectres, going with SMGs, while it seems that Tyrant Gaming is going with nothing but classics, trying to make the most of the save round here, save to every last little scrap they can. If they can still bring this round, though, they will have quite the advantage, seeing as they will be able to salvage plenty of weapons. Although, unfortunately, it seems like the first combat going out is going to lead to a dead Killjoy without Tyrant Gaming being able to get the refrag. KO there being locked down by the nanite grenade, while AORUS takes over the planting site with the spike going down. Tyrant Gaming looking for their pick here at long range, being able to bring down Raze, bringing it to a 4v4. Another pick. Looks like the push we got going in right now. 2 versus 2 players alive on both sides. Both sides having a stage, although nobody having the ulti just yet.
One enemy remaining.
We have some Spectres getting salvaged here. Oh, looks like a trade. It's going to really come down to it here. Are we going to see the fake defuse?
Tapping the bomb. He's tapping the bomb.
Tapping the bomb. Ooh, Jet trying to
get this. No, I don't think so.
Oh, let's see if he has the defuse with enough time.
No, he doesn't.
He has. Unfortunately not, which means that nobody's going to be able to save those lovely Spectres.
If he didn't fake it and he halved it, he could have potentially had time.
Possibly, but I think
But it was a risk.
I think that's why the Jet got really confident trying to go up on top of the box. However, because Sage knew there was a Jet, Jets do love to jump on top of their boxes. Just not enough time, but when you have nothing but pistols, that push is so risky. However, that is going to help even out the resource disadvantage that Tyrant Gaming has going into the 15th round of the AORUS Valorant Community Tournament. Alright, so Team Tyrant Gaming looks like they're going to be pushing really together. They're trying to make sure that that Arrow Owl doesn't get one of the easy picks, seeing as Arrow Owl does have a little bit of a resource advantage here based on the number of wins that they've had, especially coming out of the pistol round and the save round, although they didn't push their advantage quite as hard as they could have. Looks like the team's starting to split up a little bit, trying to look for their opportunity to advance. Raze waiting with their frag grenade, looking to lob it into the smoke. I think Tyra Gaming is trying to look for any advantage they possibly can, while Arrow Owl's looking to get a pick off of a poorly timed rotation. Sprays and grenades going off into the smoke. Oh, Reyna getting caught off guard. Means Tyrant Gaming is going to be down to a 3-man advantage here on the defense. Arrow Owls managing to... the spike is going down. Luckily, Tyrant Gaming is still able to get some relatively safe picks. Arrow Owls isn't completely set up just yet.
It's a 4v3.
No charges.
Sage getting another pick, bringing it down to a 3v3. Oh, although Raze is able to get the refrag. However, Killjoy able to get the refrag again. Sage bringing it up to, once again, a 3v2.
They have to actually start the defuse now.
Very soon, yes.
One enemy remaining.
Alright, so luckily Omen does while the team covers them. Although, unfortunately, Killjoy is going to go down to Sage. Sage getting the refrag on Sage.
I really thought if Sage died, that Omen would have just stuck it.
Yeah. No, he did have the faith in his team, which really makes a difference when it comes to communication. Being able to trust your teammate to cover your back, even though while you're defusing, because they didn't want it to end like last round. That said, it's going to bring Tyrant Gaming to 6, trailing behind Arrow Owls 9 here in the AORUS Valorant Community Tournament semifinals.
Yep, very, very close match, just like last match. A lot of great people showing here in their respective teams. We have actually Sage as the top fragger for Tyrant Gaming and Raze as top fragger for Arrow Owls.
So Arrow Owls going with a little bit of a save round here. We have a lot of sheriffs going on, as well as the one judge. So it looks like they're trying to get some picks. Ooh, Tyrant Gaming making that advance through that one lane really costly. Bringing it to a 2v4. Sage trying to get creative with the wall in order to push up. However, Reyna was waiting there, which is going to be cleaned up by KO, bringing it to another win for Tyrant Gaming. They're definitely making a comeback here. Looks like they were ready to play defense. So we have the setup here. Let's see. Going onto their Sage. And, alright, looks like we have rifles rolling out for both teams now. However, Arrow Owls having to go with a little bit of light armor. And we'll have to see if that comes back to haunt them in some of these engagements. Tyrant Gaming really being able to lock down some lanes with their fire. Making it really risky to try and advance.
Classic Sage wall mid, with a slow orb. Instant breaking, though. They're really just showing off their position. I don't think they really care. Because they are just breaking this wall.
Yeah. Arrow Owls is the one with a raise, which means that if Tyrant Gaming shows their hand too much, he's just going to lob a ton of grenades in there. So all the smoke going out. Arrow Owls looking for where they're going to advance on the site. Tyrant Gaming. Looks like we have the Reyna going for the rotate right now. As well as I think Omen's, he's thinking about it. He's getting a little bit more confident with his peeks here. Looks like we're having Reyna that was going to be tried to engage at the Raze, and Raze picking up 2 kills mid. Although Killjoy on Tyrant Gaming just bringing it home with 3 kills, really even up the odds really quick. Although we have KO who knows exactly where those operators are with that suppression knife, right? James?
30 seconds left.
It was the suppression knife, right? That's
Yep.
KO's? Okay, yeah, with the suppression knife. Which, if you catch enemies in the radius, not only does it silence them, it tells them that you silenced them.
The blind on KO is just so strong. His flash.
Super strong. Anybody familiar with old CSGO is going to be right at home playing KO, especially with how his grenades work. Raze is really the only one who had more traditional grenades. While you do have Brimstone with the grenade launcher, it's not quite the same because it actually lobs grenades really far. Whereas Raze's grenade throw is almost identical to CSGO. Now we have KO, a character that plays a lot like old school CSGO, or old school Counter-Strike, I should say. So a lot of those old old salt of players should be right at home playing with them. Thing is, he has very similar utility. So it looks like we have the smoke locking off the lanes once again. Arrow Owl saying, nope, we don't want to deal with that. I don't know who's there, but I don't want to deal with that today. Jet was holding down the flank. Looks like she might be taking point pretty soon with the push to the next point. Sage holding down lanes while we have two people from Tyrant Gaming, each on their sites, each knowing exactly where their teammates are, having the confidence to not try and lose attention. It looks like we have the Sage wall mid. I think Arrow Owls is looking for a pick at just anything they can, seeing as Tyrant Gaming really showing off that they have a fearsome defense here. Seeing as they're able to bring it back up to 9 to 8, now only trailing by 1 round. This is their chance to tie it up. Sage getting the pick on Raze, just waiting around the corner with that Phantom. Sage pushing up on Sage, although Arrow Owls is going to win that engagement with them now having the only Sage, bringing it to 4v4. Never mind, 3v4, seeing as both 2v4, seeing as both Killjoy and KO managing to get some really good picks here.
2v3.
However, yep,
Yeah.
it will be brought down to 2v3 with Omen managing to pick off that Reyna. As they are currently looking for exactly where that super sneaky spike holder managed to go, seeing as Arrow Owls knows not to push up with the spike holder. That few seconds of plant is not worth dropping it and just letting the defenders just know exactly where you need to go. Looks like we have
10 seconds left.
KO almost engaged with Arrow Owls, their last two remaining members. Both sides rotating super cautiously, trying not to give away their position, seeing as this is what can make the difference. Although it looks like with
Really no time.
Yep,
No
it is going to time out, which is going to give Tyrant Gaming 9 to 9. It is a tie game with quite a comeback here. Super happy to see that we had two very close matches in the Valorant Community Tournament. Neither team necessarily going to steamroll the other, which I love to see. Really good matches, not just 12 quick victories for one side.
Yep.
We have Tyrant Gaming here setting up. It looks like, I think it's going to be Raze on flank watch, possibly Sage. While we still have a very similar spread to what it was before in terms of positioning. Tyrant Gaming very happy with their defense so far this round. Alright, looks like we have Raze who's going to be rotating off of flank watch. They know that Tyrant Gaming isn't necessarily going to push up, while they definitely want to press the numbers advantage as they advance on the site. Both teams looking for the easy pick, not getting too bold with how they're pushing up. KO content to just sit back and let Arrow out come to them. Really confident in his fire. Raze pushing up. Ooh, Raze pushing up. Yep, with those double satchels into the ult, giving a free kill on Reyna, allowing them to take over the site. Although Sage is going to get the refrag, bringing it to 4v4 as Tyrant Gaming begins to rotate. They know exactly where Arrow Owls is. They know that they're going to be pushing. We have abilities going out, attempting to screen. Although Jet is going to pick up 2 kills, although KO will snag the refrag. KO looking to throw his flashes around the corner, trying to get an idea of where somebody is, trying to get an easy kill and not go too risky. He will manage to pick off Killjoy. We do have Sage advancing. Ooh, Sage picking off their other Sage, bringing it to a 2v2, and it looks like Tyrant Gaming is going to get to the fuse. Do they have enough time, though?
They do have enough time.
Okay. Yep, and that's going to bring it to 10 to 9. Tyrant Gaming coming into the lead, as it looks like this match is going to be neck and neck between Arrow Owls and Tyrant Gaming.
And this is what you call, Jordan, kind of the that comeback mentality, where
Absolutely.
it's just some people think when the game is really all on mindset, right? If you think that you're losing, you kind of get more tilted each and every round. But if you keep that fighting mentality, you can really stay in the game and really turn things around, just like Tyrant has done this whole game.
They've done wonderfully this game, especially on the defense. They've managed to put on an extremely strong defense, which that's the one thing with Valorant is that defender does play a very different game than the attacker. Attacker tends to have the numbers advantage with those early engagements. On the other hand, they do have to walk into the line of fire of the defenders, and that's actually something I mentioned earlier. Is there's not a lot of operators in this game. In fact, the closest you get is Jet rocking a Marshall.
Yeah, Marshall Walden's.
Yeah, either trying to play, maybe Jet has the confidence to be able to land those headshots. After all, the Marshall is just as lethal as an operator if you can hit the head. Arrow Owls with only 3 operators to Tyrant Gaming's 4. I think they're very eager to get their lead back as it's getting down to the last few rounds in the Valorant Community Tournament.
All of them, all of their players, I think, are very evenly matched. Both have, high fraggers, both have so-so fraggers, but, the team comp is fairly the same aside from the difference in KO, which, there's no other agent out there that really has a
30
similar
seconds left.
skill set that can
Last
impress.
player standing.
Absolutely. On the other hand, though, when it comes to team comp in this, while, for example, Arrow Owls, their stage may have the lowest in terms of raw KD, but he's been extremely active with her ability use, which has actually swung several engagements into Arrow Owl's favor. And I could say the same thing about Omen. Omen's been very oppressive with the smoke, which it seems like Arrow Owls has been less eager to simply push into the smoke than Tyrant Gaming has, which has meant that their Omen has done a lot to waste a lot of time, which makes a big difference in Valorant. After all, you can only check the corners so hard if you only have 30 seconds going, and the wasting of the time has allowed the defenders to play to the advantage, to sit in place, be confident in your communication, and make sure that they know exactly when to rotate. Looks like we have a little bit of a change-up in terms of who goes where, in terms of who's carrying, who's covering what rotate. Sage throwing out her ice, making sure to block up the advance. An interesting combo that I haven't thought of Killjoy's nanite grenade plus Sage's ice, making that advance just an absolute death trap. Nobody would want to go there.
Oh, yeah.
Looks like Tyrant Gaming has called the rotate, although they are willing to be at least a little cautious, not necessarily going all in, especially since Arrow Owls is currently blocked up right now. They do not want to advance through that single tunnel onto the B site, but they're not leaving it alone just yet. Looks like we do have the rotate going on. They're still being super cautious. We got bomb buddies going down. We have frags going everywhere. Looks like KO's timing on that flashbang was just unfortunate. He was caught with the grenade out. Although Sage was able to pick up a refrag, Sage did die herself, meaning that it is a 5-3 in Arrow Owl's advantage. After all, they did have their Sage. Sage had her ult, which meant that we had a res. Looks like Arrow Owls isn't necessarily going down without a fight right now. We have a 4v2 with the plant going down in Arrow Owls' favor, as they're currently setting up on the site right now. Omen on Tyrant Gaming getting a pick, but Sage managing to pick up the refrag, meaning that it's all going to come down to the arena, rotating in off the site. She was left behind, but she was playing it really cautiously, seeing as Arrow Owls has been really good with their rotations. If they don't like a site, they're just packing up and going to the other one. However, once they can rotate onto the site, just like those early defense rounds, they can really hang on to a site and make it really dangerous to try and advance on there. Bringing Arrow Owls to 11 to Arrow Owls' 10 to Tyrant Gaming's 11.
Very, very close game.
Absolutely. I kind of hope it comes down to a 12v12 sudden death. Like, that's what I want to see here with two teams so evenly matched.
Yeah, and again, we'll see, in the next couple rounds, but these teams are can't really just get over how balanced both of these teams are.
Absolutely. Seems like both teams really they both kind of have the advantage on the defense. I have a feeling Arrow Owls would rather be defending right now. That said, they're not necessarily rolling over for Tyrant Gaming on the attack. Tyrant Gaming actually, based on the position of their players, is a little bit different than it normally is. Normally the arena was just hanging back, playing it super cautiously, whereas now she's advancing to try and get some picks. Ooh. Unfortunately, while Omen was able to get the refrag on Sage, both Omen and Killjoy just jumped out, immediately picked off Omen, bringing it to 4v3. However, unlike last round, Arrow Owls does not have their Sage, which means that they can't immediately get it back up to a 5v3. Although the plant is going down. Tyrant Gaming advancing as a team right now, trying to make sure that they're not picked off.
Oh, and the Killjoy ulti comes out. Has to force him out of sight.
Absolutely, because if you're locked in sight, you are just a sitting duck. Although unfortunately, Omen will take down the Killjoy. Killjoy taking down the KO. And that's going to bring it to another win for AORUS. 11 versus 11.
Guys, it's close. It is down to the wire here. Each team has to win 2 rounds, and if each one wins each round, then we go into OT, the first OT of this tournament.
Both teams eager to get into the finals. They know what is at stake with the prizing that we have. They are hungry for that PC upgrade.
And you can see here, while Team Arrow does have a little bit more gun advantage, the ult advantage is just insane on the opposing team.
Can definitely swing it in their favor. Looks like we have an advance going here mid with KO and Sage playing it very cautiously because they know that if Team AORUS knows where they are around a corner, then they're just going to get barraged between nanite grenades as well as the Raze's frags. We do have Sage popping up some walls, attempting to try and block, but it looks like Raze is just immediately going to level it. Looks like Tyrant Gaming is falling back a little bit. They went a little bit safer of a position right here. We do have some advances going on both bomb sites. Both AORUS attempting to scout out and find out exactly what site they're going to be able to bring the spike to. Either that, or it looks like the Raze is falling back, meeting up with the Omen. They're looking to cut off the rotations. I think we're going to have a plant here in just a second, which is going to swing the match over to AORUS. Neither team getting a pick right now. 5v5 with the spike down, so it's going to be Tyrant Gaming on the offensive with AORUS able to set up. All right, so we have the first zone fight here. AORUS getting AORUS, their Omen, getting a double kill. Oh, not quite able to pick up the quad kill, but it's going to be down to 1 KO versus 3 AORUS, and AORUS is going to take the 23rd round, making it the match point. Is AORUS going to win here, or is Tyrant Gaming going to make this the super tense match that I am chomping at the bit for? This is exhausting.
Yes, like you said, Jordan, this is exhausting, but I think more so on the players. Everything is at stake here. Our very first AORUS Valorant Community Tournament, not just the prizing, but their pride. Their pride is on the line.
Absolutely, and it looks like there's going to be actually, if you go over to the equipment real quick, because I think some people on Tyrant, yeah, it looks like Tyrant Gaming had to do a little bit of saving, and this is not the time you want to be doing that. Both teams going all in terms of equipment, trying to stretch their budget to the max, but
they really have to use these ultimates now.
Absolutely, now's the time to use them. AORUS getting an early pick, managing to bring down the Killjoy. However, they haven't necessarily, Tyrant Gaming hasn't necessarily given up a lane of advance just yet. Omen rotating to make sure that lane's covered. It seems like AORUS is not going to get a free plant like they were, because that 5v5 with AORUS planting, it was unfortunately disastrous for Tyrant Gaming when they had to go on the offensive here. Looks like Omen is coming up to some smoke. I believe he's using his ult right now. Ooh, where's it going to be popping up?
No one's
Get out of my way!
Tyrant Gaming losing members.
Tyrant Gaming is losing members.
They have the res. Here we go.
They do have the res, so it's only going to be a 4v5. Let's
shut down those abilities.
Let's see how it's going to be, because it looks like Killjoy, Sage, and Omen got really far into the back line, which can give them some really good flanks, some really easy picks. Just like that, Sage is going to take down Jet, bringing it to a 4v4. However, AORUS is going to get the refrag on KO. Alright, looks like we have their Omen who's tossing out some of his abilities as well. Some more smoke going down. Ooh, Tyrant Gaming getting put down into one lane of advance.
They're cut off from the vision from this smoke, so they really don't know where to go.
Yeah, they really don't want to pop out here because they cannot lose members.
Oh!
Ooh, okay, Sage.
It's 3v3.
3v3.
He has to go now. He has to go for the defuse.
He has to, but Killjoy's going to... Killjoy with the double kill, and Omen bringing it home for AORUS. And there's the final scoreboard there as we go, and as we have our second match of the semifinals for the AORUS Valorant Community Tournament here. Man, that was absolutely amazing. Coming down to 11 versus 13, Arrow Owls being able to get those last 2 wins that they needed.
I was exhausted. That was absolutely exhausting. My God, you guys played it off to the bit.
Writing on Twitch, absolutely correct. It was a total nail-biter.
That definitely was. Thank you so much, Writing. Absolutely. Thank you so much, chat, for hanging out with us for this community event. We really appreciate it. For everyone on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook, thank you for hanging out with us. Don't forget to join us in our own community channels, both for Facebook as well as Discord. And I believe we may have one more code word.
That is correct. So the final code word, which some of you Valorant fans may have guessed at this point, the final code word is going to be Bucky in all caps. So make sure to enter that into our Gleam page to get as many entries as you possibly can and have the best chance you have at winning either some amazing AORUS swag like we have pictured here on the table, or managing to take home a AMD or an AORUS gaming PC. Which I believe we will be announcing the winner on Friday. So if you did win some of today's giveaways, we will be contacting you through the platforms, so don't worry. That said, I want to thank all of you guys for watching. I also want to thank all the teams that took part in today. You guys did absolutely amazing, and so I want to say congratulations to our semi-finalists. And make sure to join us at 3:30 on Friday for the finals of the AORUS Valorant Community Tournament. You don't want to miss out. After all, we're going to have, it was Team Yay coming, right?
We have Team Yay joining Team Arrow Owls in the finals. In addition to that, before the actual finals happen, we will have a community versus employee match going on right now, so you don't want to miss that as well.
Yes, so just in case you like the dulcet tones of my voice, you're going to be able to see me screaming as I'm struggling for my life versus our community, because as you can see, our community knows Valorant. But that said, it should be a ton of fun. I can't wait to take part myself, so I think that will be awesome. And there's going to be even more giveaways, so make sure to not miss out.
Thank you so much again for joining us, and we will check you guys Friday at 3:30.
See you then.